Thank you for tuning in to the Real CP Show. I'm your host, CP. And today's topic, this black high school male that was supposed to have allegedly stabbed this Anglo high school male that was in Frisco, or both were in Frisco, that went to some Frisco high school, and they were at this track meet. And situations that came up where then it was alleged that the black male student went over to this tent that he should not have went to, and all of a sudden he just ran over there basically and started confrontation and pulled out a knife and shoot the innocent little wholesome Anglo high school person. And unfortunately, his life was lost. That's the narrative that so many numbers of main media personnel and some other ones, and including, unfortunately, there have been some gullible ones and some naive and some ones that have deflected within certain parts of American Blackism. Yes, with very few exceptions. Now, on the opposite side, it was good that there was a few slightly more American blacks that were not falling for this game, right? Wasn't enough. And then you have some other coaches and backgrounds, the ones who are also jumping up against American blacks. And unfortunately, there are, however, numbers, ones that have the skin of black, right? Not American black, but also jumping on a bandwagon of, oh my goodness, black people are violent. You're like, look at your damn skin color, fool. Oh, and I got some for some little sellouts from certain part of Africa. Or I got some for that. I'm gonna show you somebody got a remindment as well. I'm gonna show you actually two different videos, a video and a article that predates this situation, right? That you didn't hear too much about, right? And then I'm going to the quick video about how the little game plan that's been going on, and then we're going to go forth on top of that. So I just want to do this particular podcast. I'm going to try to keep it not too long because I want to keep this as a as a timepiece purpose. Today is April the 7th, 2025. This is why it's so powerful to sit there and have timepiece history, because there are certain ones within the plant-based culture who know who they are, and some other ones who want to be like certain ones within the plant-based culture that it is so naturally ingrained to sit there and try to deny racial racism, terrorism that happens every day within various parts of America. But as soon as something happened toward a little white kid, something like that, and they think, oh my goodness, the little black male did this, it's race. What the? Yes. See how the game goes, right? But let's just go ahead and get right on to this a little bit. See, I got some for some people on this a little bit. The ones especially that plays a little tactics, right, on this. So let's go ahead and play this and see how many people don't even remember seeing this, right? Let me go back. Let me share this screen. Give me a second. Oh man, so much information. Wait. Okay. Which one should I start with? This one? I'm gonna start with this one. Hold on.
Not exactly.
Okay, here we go. Now you see at the bottom. Let me make sure this thing, my mute is off. Okay, here we go. So you see at the where'd you go? Let me go back. Let me make sure. Hold on. Let me make sure something. I think it went off. Let me go back and make sure I share this again. I think it went off. Hold on. Give me one moment. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. I think that's okay. You see that? Oh, that's not what I want right now. Nope, that's not the one I want right now. First, give me a second here. Share my screen. That's the one I want first. Yeah, right here. Okay. Make sure you can see that one. Yes, here we go. Now, look at this. At the bottom, see the mother of Verdugo Hills High School student says a attack on son was racially motivated. Oh, you didn't hear about this one, did you? Let's go ahead and play. Let's go ahead and play this particular clip.
Law enforcement is still sorting out exactly what happened. The fight broke out a couple of weeks ago and 2 students were stabbed. The parent of the alleged victim says her son was assaulted because of his skin color. Eyewitness News reporter Sid Garcia joins us live from outside the school in Tujunga with more clarification. Sid.
Guys, the family says they have filed a claim against the school district. That's the first step before filing a lawsuit. As you mentioned, the mother of the 14-year-old claims her son was assaulted because of the color of his skin.
My son, as stated, he was targeted, clearly targeted. He didn't deserve that. He was just trying to go to school, get his education like everybody else.
She didn't want to give her name out of concern for her safety. She says her 14-year-old son, a freshman at Verdugo Hills High School, was attacked twice because he's black. On the video released by her attorneys to Eyewitness News, it's been blurred because those involved are minors. The first alleged attack happened in August inside a school bathroom. On December 9th, the second alleged attack also happened on campus. One of the family attorneys describes what you're watching.
Where you see different boys who are not black going after our client who are not black, different boys who are not black.
You're watching.
Where you see different boys who are not black going after our client who is. He tries to defend himself. He's wearing a backpack. Not a very easy way to defend yourself in a fight.
It isn't shown on the video, but sometime after this alleged attack, there are allegations that 2 of the alleged attackers were stabbed. There are allegations that 2 of the alleged attackers were stabbed. It's still being sorted out by law enforcement as to who may have stabbed whom. The teen who was allegedly attacked is due in juvenile court early next year. No charges have been filed. The hearing, as it was explained to me, is to sort out what led up to the assaults, if charges will be filed or the case dismissed.
Mm, 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 mm. But you'll have personnel that didn't see what they just saw of a black youth that was sitting there, had gotten a fight because other people were trying to fight him at an LA school. And all of a sudden, what? He had to sit there and do what he did, right? And 2 of those little pathetic little monsters that was sitting there, they were not black, by the way. That was attacking that young black boy. And you saw the rest of also the ones that were attacking him as well. But at the same time, in this situation with the young black male student up in Frisco, in the Frisco High School, oh my goodness, he sit there and attacked that white innocent high school boy who was wholesome, right? Oh, it's race. Oh, but again, when I sit there and showed you initially, you didn't hear too much about that, did you? Where's the uproar for that? Because there was non-black, and that school district is probably going to be primary Hispanics. Oh, so where's the conversation on that part? Oh, let me tell you what people are doing when it's relating to some other cultures and backgrounds that attack American blacks as well. Oh, let me tell you what they do. We start talking like that. This is what they do. Give me a second. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me one moment here. This is what they do. They don't have anything. Oh, see how that deflection tactic go? Let me play one. Let me show another article. And this is not a black American. This is a person, a young black, skin color black, but this person is African, an African youth that got reminded. So their parents, they got reminded to let them know, Negroes, they don't give a damn about if you come from certain parts of Africa, which is a very generic word. Can you like, how many personnel from Africa be like, don't call me African. We are this tribe first. Oh, but that's a whole different topic. No, many people don't want to still talk about, right? But the point I'm getting at is that this particular African youth, right, that would have the skin of black, he got a reminder, but he really kind of didn't really know what's going on. But his parents, all they knew, right? It was racial then, because you got numbers of certain parts of people from Africa do the, I'm not black unless it's benefiting them, right? So let's go ahead. Let me share the screen. And this is the last one I'm going to show before I go ahead and get to the other main topics. So let's keep this in mind as well. Give me a second here. Here we go. Make sure you can see that. Okay, here we go. Now, what does this say? Make sure you can see that. Okay, yeah, here we go. Black special needs student in Texas. Black special needs student in Texas reportedly jumped by 5 white boys. Jumped by 5 white boys. Oh, but it's not about race. Oh, but it's about race. The situation with the little black high school boy in Frisco, that's it there, juke, the other white boy, and I'm gonna get to the reasons also, and you can hear from some other people that didn't fall for the nonsense, right? Didn't fall for the nonsense. Oh, but it was racial when the black boy was defending himself, right? Because something was going on, and we're gonna get to this a little bit, right? Where he kind of felt like, I don't know, I guess on that. Because you have some people, right? Oh, well, he should have just knuckled up. Right. Well, you guys, I don't want to go into all that. Just say when some other people were trying to jump on him and some situations happened before that, but you got to knuckle up. The naiveness sometimes. But you see already what this says again, black special needs student in Texas reportedly jumped by 5 white boys. White students use social media to threaten the boy. No, you didn't sit there and see that. No, you don't see what you see. White students use social media to threaten this boy. An African student. Oh, see, now it's African. See, one minute is black when it's convenient for certain ones within certain parts of Africa, over in America, the one this applies to. Because there's some good African brothers and sisters who like, yeah, man, we got some coons and sellers over there. We got some ones that can't stand other Africans in the continent of Africa, right? We don't want to talk about that part. So we're not talking about the numbers of good Africans like that, because within Americanism, they're going to watch and not allow a collective amount of good Africans to come over to America, right? Because no, because they may try to get with the numbers of Black Americans and try to change the dynamic of supremacy. We can't have them. We want coon type numbers of Africans. We want sellout type of Africans. We want those collectively in America. This is why you don't sit there and see numbers of American blacks and Africans, a number of the Africans sitting there getting with Black Americans to sit there and try to come together on things. That's why you do not see that basically on that. And some have the nerve, some Africans have the nerve to sit there and try to talk bad about Black Americans, what's going on in that person's original country. Some got the freaking nerves. But you see already, an African student with special needs with speech impediment from Memorial High School in Houston, Texas, was brutally attacked by 5 white students because of his race. Now it's about race. You see this little disgusting tactic, right? Oh, there are some ones from certain parts of Africa. Oh, you got to watch them. There are some sneaky ones, right? Numbers of Africans and inside America, Native Africans inside various parts of Africa, they don't even come together, each other. Oh, we don't want to talk about that, but that's a different topic. So it's African now, right? Student with special needs. He's like, which part of Africa? Africa is made up of 50 plus countries. See, again, unfortunately, there is not enough American blacks to sit there and catch on that little tactic. You got ones that say generically African when they want to say African, when again, they benefits them on that. And ones that want to say black when they benefits on black. You said that game goes, right? So an African student with special needs, what part of Africa? Didn't say. With special needs with a speech impediment from Memorial High School in Houston, Texas, was brutally attacked by 5 white students because of his race. Where was these various types of main media numbers of personnel at to talk about this? Huh? Where's all them? Wait a minute. Where are some of the other that want to be people of color and minority playing little games? Where's the BPOC crowd at? The black, indigenous people of color mixed in crowd. Where's the black and brown crowd at? Or should I say the brown crowd at to talk about this? Where's the black and yellow crowd at? Or should I say the yellow and black crowd? Where are they at on this? Where's the other various types of African groups jumping up and down about this? I don't think so. Because numbers of African personnel within America saying, no, we don't care about those other African personnel. We are our own tribe. We're in America just as much. We're our own tribes in Africa. Oh, again, we don't want to talk about that. So reporters learned on Tuesday when this happened. Oh, by the way, this was what, 2019. The first one I showed you was 2024. He said it go. This is why it's important for timepiece purposes, because according to certain numbers of main media personnel, that's controlled by various parts of Panama's culture ones and ones that slide under the Panama's culture banner. Oh, they want to act like it's black folks going crazy on people, right? It's about race when it's certain small numbers of black folks that have done some things toward certain personnel within Panama's culture. But at the same time, gigantically, when it's the opposite way around, it's not about race then. Oh, boy, these silly ass games. So reporters learned on Tuesday that an African student, back to now is African. He said it goes, right? With special needs with a speech impediment from Memorial High School in Houston, Texas, was brutally attacked by 5 white students because of his race. So this person going all that informed reporters that the attack was indeed premeditated. The attack was premeditated. Previously, the student had received racially charged threats on social media before the altercation. Previously, this African black student, we want to call him, had received racially charged racial threats basically on social media before the altercation. Again, where are these main media type of personnel within the Panama-based culture at? Where are the ones that slot under people of color and minority banner? Where are the ones that have the skin of black, not American black, but various parts of Africa or some parts of the beautiful Caribbean? Where is all the jumping up conversation to come to the rescue of this particular African parent? Because many personnel are to themselves. Yes, they don't want to talk about that. So the guy says further contains that 5 white students made true of their threats and jumped the teen. From the altercation, the victim suffered a concussion. X reads threats from a screenshot of the series of posts on social media. One white student, posted, "What's good, little N? Talk that ish, get gonked. Offer X. Once we remove his life, we'll throw him off a top." My goodness. Look at this. They're talking about removing this African kid, and they would do with his body after they removed his life. The community activist claims that the African teen was unfortunately not protected by school administrators and that the white racial racism terrorist students were not disciplined. One African kid lured across the street and jumped by at least 5 white boys. We know for a fact 3 of them are still in school. And to this day at that time. And 2 others were allowed to transfer. They have separated her African son, put him in ISS and school suspension for the fight. A special needs African kid was put in suspension for being jumped by 5 racism savage white kids. And you've heard, most people had heard nothing about this, have you? In various parts of main media, various parts of Panama-based culture ones, They ain't talk nothing about this, have they? You see this little disgusting freaking game they play. And then the nerve of you have some ones on the people of color banner and minority banner. Some of them had jumped on the wagon against American blacks as well. And the nerve of certain ones within certain parts of the category black, not black American, have also jumped on board to make excuses for the blatant anti-American black hatred that still goes on right now, because some of them are trying to get some little sugar cubes of praise upon their little foreheads by certain ones within the palm-based culture. So anyway, stopping right here on that. Where is the outrage at that? Where is the outrage? Right? Many people hadn't heard about that. So keep those in mind when I'm about to go ahead and start playing this right here. Let's go ahead and, which one is it? Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and play this.
A particularly pointless and heart-wrenching murder has the attention of the country.
In North Texas, within the past few hours, we've learned one student is dead after a deadly stabbing at a high school track meet in Frisco.
Jeff Metcalf is father to Austin and Hunter Metcalf, brothers who were both at the track meet where today's tragedy happened.
They were twins, identical twins, and his brother was holding on to him, trying to make it stop bleeding, and he died in his brother's arms.
The horrific outcome unfolding at Kirkendall Stadium around 10 this morning. It started, Metcalf says, when a student from another school was told he was sitting in the wrong place. It started, Metcalf says, when a student from another school was told he was sitting in the wrong place.
And then when you sit there and hear how extremely a piece of demonic little white lie that was. So you got to watch these numbers of people within certain parts of Panama's culture. There are ones that are extreme natural liars. Right? It's ingrained in centuries old DNA to lie, to give little white lies, right? To sit there and try to show or try to portray black folks, American blacks, as the most bad criminals, when the majority of criminality comes from certain ones within the Panama-based culture. You see how this goes, right? The games.
End result, he stabbed my son in the heart and killed him.
That's the extent of this?
That's what it was over. Something so small, so trivial.
The suspect, who's also 17 and attended a competing...
You hear what the father said, oh my goodness, it was so trivial. Minimizing. Yes, they were minimizing the contributiveness of what their son or sons did. You see how it goes, right? Because it's natural to deflect when certain ones within Panama's culture. It's natural. Because if this was vice versa, you would have none of the same people. Oh my goodness. Look at the hatred that the black youth did to my white son. My white son was just doing self-defense. You said this goes, and there are some naive, certain ones where they even American blackism. Again, they'll also jump on the side of the white father. If it was vice versa, they still jump on the bandwagon, because there are some internally self-hatred type American blacks in this country. Now, fortunately, it's a little bit of slight American blacks that ain't falling for this stuff, but it's not enough. And the system knows this. Let's continue.
School is now charged with murder.
The mother and twin brother of the victim spoke to local news about what happened.
Just doesn't make any sense. I mean, that's just because the kid was mad, my son is not here anymore. And I don't understand.
Oh, here we go.
He had college football. Guys looking at him to play in college here. His goal was to play in college. He just wanted to play football. I'm so worried about my son. because he's going to have to face this world alone now, because he had a brother that was with him the whole time. And
I'm not going for that point. But at the same time, right? They see nothing, they hear nothing, and they know nothing, right? Because they are protecting what the contributingness of what their son that was stabbed. Now, no, that still was bad what happened, but at the same time, how is it that the young black kid that he says self-defense, oh, we can't hear about that, we don't want to hear about that. Why they gotta bring us, why they gotta bring a knife there? Oh my goodness, it could have been a way they could have left off that track later on and was at some fast food restaurant or some other place, and you will still have people, they'd be like, oh my goodness, that black kid stabbed a wholesome football player, white kid who was doing good in life, and it wouldn't have mattered. They still would have heard anything but a knife. But if it was vice versa, oh, the little white kid, well, he was just trying to protect himself. But you ain't supposed to have no knife on that situation, especially at the track field. Oh, it don't matter. You know, you trying to play political games. No. I mean, he has the right. He was just utilizing that to, custom stuff and stuff like that. It's okay. You see how this goes. There are some ones within Pirates culture that are sick. Deflection is so natural. The one it applies to. So let's go. So you see how that go on that. But again, those that one video I showed you earlier about the young high school black kid that was jumped by various type of white Hispanics, right? And when he had to go juke some, right? Oh, you didn't hear too much about that, did you? Because he was jumped by white Hispanics. And that's a whole different thing about certain types of Hispanics. The ones applies to who have a hatred for American blacks. The ones that applies to, and there have been certain numbers of agents, the ones it applies to, that have shown the hatred toward American blacks. Oh, that's very easy to show that regardless, right? But at the same time, oh, those black people, those black male youth, and some of those black girls, they get violent more too. And those black women, they get violent too. So it's always pointing a finger away from themselves. It is a game, people. It's a disgusting tactic. And millions within American Blackism still haven't got it in numbers of skulls how to play the game or how to see through their games that people are playing against American blacks, right? So let me get that out the way. Now, let me go ahead. I must finish it up a little bit. So let me go ahead and start this other first video. Well, you know what? Let me play. Hold on. You know what? Let me play this video first. And I'm utilizing this also as fair usage doctrine. Here we go.
Against violent aggressors. He described the victim and his twin brother as bullies, alleging they tried to jump him. The victim and his twin brother as bullies, alleging they tried to jump him. Took Anthony's belongings, broke his phone, and stomped on it, alleging they tried to jump him. Took Anthony's belongings, broke his phone, and stomped on it.
Oh, there are some people, even within American Blackism, besides the few exceptions who see through the game, there are some black folks that didn't even know this. Makes it look very foolish when you jump to conclusions of not getting the information. And then certain ones within the plant-based culture, the ones who know who they are, they don't want to hear anything about this because it makes them look foolish. And there are ones within the plant-based culture in various parts of main media. There are some ones who have heard these things, but they don't want that to be talked about because they are atrocious in the demonic behavior. They're atrocious. because they know they have a hatred for American blacks. And it's all about hatred, 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 demonic hatred, hatred toward American blacks. And they would do anything to sit there and keep trying to make it seem like that American blacks are the most criminal people ever in this country. When centuries, the number one people who have had the most hate put upon them is American blacks. But you got people to be like, they see nothing, they hear nothing, and they know nothing. They see nothing, they hear nothing, and they know nothing. See the game? But let's go ahead and continue.
Kevin captioned his post, "The truth about Carmelo. Let's set the record straight."
Yes.
Enough with the misinformation. Let's talk about facts. 1. It's normal for students from different schools to gather under another school's tent. Carmelo had friends there. He wasn't gathered under another school's tent. Carmelo had friends there. He wasn't trespassing or looking for trouble. He wasn't trespassing or looking for trouble. 2. The claim that one of the twins had never seen Carmelo before, a blatant lie. One of the twins had never seen Carmelo before, a blatant lie. Twins had never seen Carmelo before, a blatant lie. 3. No student has the right to remove another student from a school-owned tent. From a school-owned tent. The school another student from a school. No student has the right to remove another student from a school-owned tent. The school owns the tent, not the twins. 4. Carmelo is a track athlete. The twins are not. Carmelo is a track athlete. The twins are not. He wasn't even expecting to see them there. Now, here's what they don't want you to know. The twins didn't just ask him to leave, they tried to jump him. Twins didn't just ask him to leave, they tried to jump him. The twins didn't just ask him to leave, they tried to jump him. Leave, they tried to jump him. The twins didn't just ask him to leave, they tried to jump him.
Oh, where's all that old nonsensicalness? Jump to conclusion. Right? Because there are numbers of black folks that jump to conclusions as well, who know who they are, that didn't get the information correct. There are ones also, people within certain parts of Panama's culture who know they are. Some of them know this also in various parts of main media, but they don't want people to sit there and see this kind of information because it makes them look very demonic, right? And savage and trying to sit there and hide the correct information. Let's continue.
Before attacking him, they tried to take his belongings, broke his phone, and stomped on him. They tried to jump him. Before attacking him, they tried to take his belongings, broke his phone, and stomped on him. Tried to jump him. Before attacking him, they tried to take his belongings, broke his phone, and stomped on him. The twins are known bullies. So ask yourself, they tried to take his belongings, broke his phone, and stomped on him. The twins are known bullies and stomped on him. The twins are known bullies. So ask yourself, if two 200-plus pound attackers came at your child, what would you expect them to do? Two 200-plus pound attackers came at your child, what would you expect them to do?
But you have people that play ignorant and play naive on that. And there are people who think you're supposed to just knuckle up when you got these big old fellows that's trying to attack this little shorter guy. Now, people can play like they superhuman all they want. They can play that little tactic all they want. Right? In reality, shows them different. Right? Wow. But at the same time, you got people that was doing just like this. They see nothing, they hear nothing, and they know nothing. But at the same time, you got however various parts of main media, various ones by the predominant culture, the ones this applies to, and some other ones under the nonsensical people of color and minority switchery little terminology, things like that, right? Ones that have the skin of black, not American black, right? No, I'm talking about the ones that are sellout numbers are certain ones within Africa or several bit of Caribbean. I'm talking about the one this applies to. How many of them jumped on board with various parts of main media? Oh my goodness, those black people are so violent. Like, man, you need to worry about your own damn country. And the violence is going in their own damn country. And the corruption is going in their own person's country. Right? And the extreme tribalism and extreme islandism in certain various parts of the Caribbean. The beautiful Caribbean. The intra animosity to one another. You see how this silliness that is like this blame American blacks, period. And for without American blacks, many people wouldn't even be able to benefit in America because it was set to sit there and give black pain, right? And allow other people to benefit off what black folks, American blacks, continue to go through. And unfortunately, at every little corner, around the corner, top of the corner where it is, whatever, there still are certain black folks within America that are also certain parts of the problem as well. Because they still keep trying to fight against black folks and stuff like that. Boy, they messed up quite a number within American blackism, unfortunately. So let's go back. Let's go. Hold on. Let's finish up.
And yet, despite everything, the media is trying to destroy Carmelo's name. They keep posting a picture of him with an airsoft gun, not even a real firearm, to manipulate public perception. Why? Because they want to paint him as a criminal instead of a victim. Let's talk about who Carmelo really is. A respectful, well-mannered young man. A 4.0 student with multiple college offers. A 4.0 student with multiple college offers. Man. A 4.0 student with multiple college offers. A kid with zero criminal history, not even a blemish. A kid with zero criminal history, not even a blemish. College offers. A kid with zero criminal history, not even a blemish. A son raised in a loving home by parents who taught him right from wrong. A loving home by parents who taught him right from wrong. A son raised in a loving home by parents who taught him right from wrong. A life was lost, and that is tragic. But what's also tragic is the way the media is twisting this story. What's also tragic is the way the media is twisting this story. What's also tragic is the way the media is twisting this story to fit their own agenda. It's worth mentioning that police have not corroborated Kevin's account of events. Meanwhile, the Anthony family is asking for prayers and support. They've launched a fundraiser to help with expenses during this difficult time.
But at the same time, again, you got people that will be doing just like this. They see nothing, they hear nothing, and they know nothing. What did you hear of? 4.0, many college offers, no criminality whatsoever. 4.0, athlete, no criminality. But at the same time, you got people like, they hear nothing, they don't know nothing, because it don't fit the narrative. Because if it be like, oh, he's 2.0 student and he's been getting in trouble and stuff like that, he's doing all kind of wrong things and he's missing school and he's talking back to the teachers and he's violent, then it's acceptable. You see the animosity and the outright demonicism of certain ones within certain parts of Palm Bay's culture will go to the thought patterns and the actions that they'll go to sit there and either minimize constructive Black folks if it does not fit a narrative. In this situation, the narrative of that this young fellow was not a criminal, Alittle. He was a 4.0 student, the highest you can get. The highest you can get while being a student athlete. Up in Frisco, they're not giving grace away. But again, you got people, right? Let me go back. Watch this. But at the same time, you got some people that they can be fooled so easy. Give me a second. Give me a second here. Uh-oh, where'd it go? Watch this. Watch this. But you didn't sit there and hear that he was a 4.0 student. Well, I heard that. Oh, you didn't hear that he didn't do any kind of criminality. Well, I heard that too. He had many college offers. Well, I heard that too. But at the same time, you want to still think he was a bad person because he had a knife on him. Oh, yeah, that's right. But at the same time, you want to minimize what the little white kid did in assaulting this Black kid. Right? And you heard that they was basically trying to punch him down. You heard that they was talking about how those brothers were allegedly bullies. But at the same time, you got people think they know every damn thing. Yes. There are some ones within American Black youth that think they know every damn thing. And where do you think they got that from? From certain ones within the Panama-based culture, the ones who think they know every damn thing. Right? You see how that goes. So let me go ahead and play this particular one. I'm almost finished on this. Give me a second. Did I play that? You want to do that one? Okay, I'm gonna play this one here. One moment. Let me share this screen. Give me one moment here. Give me one moment. Go back here. One moment. Share. All right, almost here. Wait, okay, let's go with this. And sure, that's correct. No, okay, all right, here we go. Let's see here.
Come on.
And fair usage doctrine. And again, credit given to these particular brothers who know who they are, who's putting in the work, putting this information out as well. Credit given to them.
Everybody's talking about this story regarding Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf down there in Frisco. Everybody's talking about this story regarding Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf down there in Frisco, Texas. Austin got unalived. A lot of people are trying to make it a race issue, and it's not. It has nothing to do with that right there. But a lot of people are attacking this young man and are showing the negative side.
But he said it don't have nothing to do with a race issue. I don't agree with him in that because he said, that when the altercation happened, a little, he'll say that down the line a little bit more as he talks. He said that the white boy calls him the N-word with the hard ER. But let's continue.
And everything, but I want you to see him in his positive side because this was self-defense. The story that's being told, Carmelo, he was sitting up under a tent, under the wrong tent and everything. That's what they said, under the wrong tent. And Austin came over there, told him to move, said Carmelo got aggressive with him and everything, and then stabbed him with a knife in the heart and everything, and he passed away. That's not the full story. First off,
the turmeric is oil soluble, which means it's not going to absorb anything of your gut very well.
Commercial.
So some companies try.
My apologies, family. My computer be lagging. Knew each other. Look at the white boy trying to be down. That when the altercation happened, a little.
Play this part again.
I'm going to that brother now who broke that, situation down beautifully, if you ask me. Come on. Computer.
Everybody's talking about this story regarding Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf down there in Frisco. Everybody's talking about this story regarding Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf down there in Frisco, Texas. Austin got unalived. A lot of people are trying to make it a race issue, and it's not. It has nothing to do with that right there. But a lot of people are attacking this young man and are showing the negative side.
But he said it don't have nothing to do with a race issue. I don't agree with him in that because he said, that when the altercation happened, a little, he'll say that down the line a little bit more as he talks. He said that the white boy calls him the N-word with the hard ER. But let's continue.
And everything, but I want you to see him in his positive side because this was self-defense. The story that's being told, Carmelo, he was sitting up under a tent, under the wrong tent and everything. That's what they said, under the wrong tent. And Austin came over there, told him to move, said Carmelo got aggressive with him and everything, and then stabbed him with a knife in the heart and everything, and he passed away. That's not the full story. First off, Carmelo had permission from another coach to go over there and set up under that tent. He had permission. Another thing that was said and been spread out far and wide is that they didn't know each other. That's a lie, because they definitely knew each other. This is an older picture. They definitely knew each other.
Look at that. I'm going to take it back, family. It's moving too
They didn't know each other. That's a lie, because they definitely.
See, there go the white boy in the middle chilling with him. So, yeah, they knew each other. Look at the white boy trying to be down. But the first, sign of when you do something they don't like, they'll bring that N-word out on you. This is, proof and evidence of that. But, it's still, sad set of circumstances. So RIP to that white boy, because I don't want to sound inconsiderate because, I don't wish death on no one, but, I'm just keeping this thing real, and looking at this thing, through the lens of my black mind and breaking it down.
They knew each other. This is an older picture. They definitely knew each other. Other stuff that's coming out is Austin was being mean and harassing Carmelo, his girlfriend, actually, Carmelo's girlfriend. He was harassing her at a party that was about maybe a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago. Carmelo took up for his girlfriend. Then all of a sudden, the fight broke out. Austin broke Carmelo's phone just the day before this incident took place. So the day of this incident, Austin
See, he broke the brother's phone and everything. It's a lot of detail that's being left, real vague as to paint the picture that, our brother just, did this, off of a seat, just hauled off and killed this little white kid. And that's not, the story in its fullness, its full totality.
So I just turned 40 and I made a promise to my wife to be healthier. So I said a spoonful of olive oil a day.
Damn
this
commercials.
Come on. Now my computer wants to freeze. My apologies, family. Hold on. Computer acting up.
Austin broke Carmelo's phone just the day before this incident took place. So the day of this incident, Austin confronted Carmelo for sitting up under the tent in the wrong area. They got into an argument. Carmelo's backpack was grabbed, and then he was called the N-word. And then Austin tried to grab him forcibly. He tried to forcibly move him. And it wasn't Austin by himself. Both of them got up there and attacked Carmelo. Both of them did. And there were a lot of witnesses down there that said that the twins, plural, tried to jump him. Well, actually, they did jump him. They stomped on him. And there were a lot of witnesses down there that said that the twins, plural, tried to jump him. Well, actually, they did. Carmelo for sitting up under the tent in the wrong area. They got into an argument.
My computer's acting goofy, family. It's not letting me pause. So I just let it ride through. I'll talk about it later.
And then Austin tried to grab him forcibly. He tried.
There you go. But he was basically saying that both of the twins, jumped our brother and tried to jump on him, and attacked him, because I find it hard to believe you there with your brother. You held him after he was stabbed in your arms to stop the bleeding. And, you seen an altercation with your brother and you didn't get involved in it. That's not going to happen, because I know, truth be told, if I ain't even got a brother, but if one of my cousins was involved in a, altercation that was getting heated, I'm in it, I'm all in. This TikTok app or my computer's acting real goofy, man.
The N-word, and then Austin tried to grab him forcibly. He tried to forcibly move him. And it wasn't Austin by himself. Both of them got up there and attacked Carmelo. Both of them did. And there were a lot of witnesses down there that said that the twins, plural, tried to jump him. Well, actually, they did jump him. They stomped on him and they broke his phone and they tried to take his things.
Wow, they did jump him. So they actually did jump him and stomp him. So yeah, like I said, I find it hard to believe that his twin brother was there and didn't get involved. He probably, as soon as it, got heated, he probably got involved, truth be told. And that's elements that they leaving out of the story in the mainstream media.
But at the same time, you got some personnel that didn't hear what they really heard, right? They see nothing, they hear nothing, and they know nothing. And supremacists does this when they know that certain numbers of black folks within America, the ones that are naive and gullible, and no, the ones that are naive and gullible, the ones that supply to, because there are certain numbers of American blacks that ain't falling for the silly tactics, and credit given to those small numbers of American blacks that ain't falling for this nonsense, right? Right? So various parts of main media, they made sure not to sit there and even play that particular last part, because they know what they're trying to do. What did I sit there and show you at the beginning of this show? Right? That first example where that black mother had her high school kid or junior high kid in one of those LA schools, and he got jumped by several white Hispanics. He got jumped by several white Hispanics, unless there also was a couple of ones in there that were just regular Caucasian, but primarily they were white Hispanics. And then when that son, I guess, allegedly had maybe a little juke piece of equipment and juked however one or two, right? Oh, you didn't hear too much about that. Oh, you didn't hear too much about that story. You see how that goes, right? So they only tell you what they want to tell people in front of main media. And this is why, again, they laugh at numbers of American blacks, because they're saying these Negroes been in this country for centuries, and still they do not have several big-time main media conglomerates as we do. You know how you get laughed at on that? Do you not know there are so many Hispanic channels on TV now? Numbers of what we call Asian, whatever that's supposed to mean, because that's very generic. Asia is a continent with several ethnicities, and under that, however many other ones in between that part. And how many prefectures and towns and cities, etc. How many languages, right? Iran is an Asian country. Iraq is an Asian country. Armenia is an Asian country. But you got people that keep allowing people to just say Asian in some very generic fashion. And most people don't want to sit there and talk about, especially certain ones, American black, don't want to call that the anti-Asian hatred or anti-American black hatred by certain numbers of Asians, the one this applies to. You said this game goes. Don't want to consistently call out the ones that white Hispanic is, the ones that have an anti-American black hatred for American blacks as well. They don't want to sit there and talk about enough to talk about how there are certain sellouts and gullible ones within certain parts of Africa and America, not the ones that are good, because that's not going to be collective in America, because this system watches out which Africans and which parts of the Caribbean islands of personnel who they allowed to come to this country, when many of them don't even get along with one another, let alone many of them don't even associate with one another in America. But at the same time, many people, many entities want to sit there and use American black. Leave, boy, these games. So let's go ahead. I think I got about a couple of more left. So let me play this one from this other brother that's sitting there putting in the work of is not bagging down on reality-based information, because there are certain numbers of American blacks who know they think they know every damn thing. They really do think they know every damn thing, and they seem to forget. Age catches up with every person eventually. And your memory is not the same thing it's going to be when you're younger, when you get a certain old age bracket. Your body's not going to be the same way when you get older a certain way. But sometimes there are American blacks that have very gullible and naiveness in thinking that their education or businesses or etc. means something. In the long run, it means not a damn thing eventually. Because it should be about What are you doing to sit there and bring forth a little more peace to maybe some other people, or sharing your knowledge and information, right, in a humbleness way? And to know how will people remember the personnel? Let's continue. Again, fair usage doctrine from this brother too, that's putting in the work too, as far as information.
Listen again, run the tape.
And my brother stepped in and said, "You need to move." He's like, "Make me move." Austin grabbed his backpack. The kid, I tried to whip around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the stab. But then I look at my brother, and then I'm not going to talk about the rest. So just that's just what I saw. And I tried to help him, but
it was just senseless.
His twin brother attacked first. Make that make sense. And notice he said, "I'm not going to talk about the rest." Well, guess what, partner? I'm going to talk about the rest, because racist Caucasian people, they always love to attack our people and hide their hands, attack our people and cry wolf. But now on this channel, we let nothing slide. So let's get right into this article so I can show y'all how cold the game really is. And this article is by the New York Post. It was published April 4th, 2025 at 9:36 a.m. The chilling words teen told cops after allegedly stabbing Texas football star Austin Metcalf, who died in twin brother's arms. And notice how they use certain words. He died in his twin brother's arms, but they won't tell you the truth, but they'll play with your mind. They'll play psychological games with our minds to make us feel sorry. But let's carry on. The teenager accused of fatally stabbing Austin Metcalf and leaving him to die in his twin brother's arms at a high school track meet allegedly admitted to the senseless unaliving, but claimed it was in self-defense. "I'm not alleged. I did it," 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony chillingly told police in Frisco, Texas, as he was being arrested at Kirkendall Stadium. The horrific stabbing was sparked when Anthony, who was sitting under another team's pop-up tent as it rained Wednesday morning, was asked by Metcalf to move, and Anthony refused. Anthony then unzipped a bag, reached inside, and told Metcalf, whom he had never met before, "Touch me and see what happens," a witness told police. And look, the brother already told us what happened, but you have to use your common sense. No young black man that's captain of the football team that has a 4.0 is going to randomly attack another young Caucasian man. It's not happening. He didn't do that for no reason. Then I stepped back and say, wait, what's the race demographic in Frisco, Texas? Check this out. 51.2 Caucasian people, 8.6 black people. You might as well say 91.4% Caucasian people, because everyone else, especially in Texas, they already want to be Caucasian. The Hispanics, the Asians, they all want to be Caucasian people. So 8.6 black people, it tells me everything I need to know about Frisco, Texas. He's not going to get a fair trial. Of course, his bond going to be set at $1 million because it's only 8.6 black people in Frisco, Texas. And tell me this, why would the article say whom he's never met before? So I said, wait, let me go further down the rabbit hole. So I went over to Facebook and everything started to make sense. Check this out. And shout out to Kevin Hayes. I think he's a track coach in Texas, and he knew Carmelo Anthony. The truth about Carmelo, let's set the record straight. Enough with the misinformation. Let's talk about fact. Number one, it's normal for students from different schools to gather under another school's tent. Carmelo had friends there. He wasn't trespassing or looking for trouble. And if you ran track, you already know we always go to everybody else's tent. That's common. Number two, the claim that one of the twins had never seen Carmelo before, a blatant lie. Number three, no student has the right to remove another student from a school-owned tent. The school owns the tent, not the twins. Number four, Carmelo is a track athlete. The twins are not. He wasn't expecting to see them there. See, everybody was talking like the twins was running track and Carmelo did nothing. No, he ran track. The twins was just there bullying people. And then he says, now here's what they don't want you to know. The twins didn't just ask him to leave. They tried to jump him. Before attacking him, they tried to take his belongings. They broke his phone and stomped on it. The twins are known bullies. So ask yourself, if two 200-plus pound attackers came at your child, what would you expect them to do? And again, shout out to Kevin Hayes for that information. But you see the games that the media plays on our people. That's the reason why his brother said, I'm not going to tell the rest. Of course, you're not going to tell the rest of the story because you're going to tell on yourself. And then the media is so cold with it. They showed Carmelo Anthony holding the gun, but they never showed the twins holding a gun. And you got to think about it. In Texas, every family has guns. It's like a cell phone. It's common. So for you to judge, for everybody to judge Carmelo Anthony holding that gun, but not to judge those twins holding that gun, make it make sense. But no one's going to judge them right because they have on hunting gear. That means nothing. Keep the same goddamn energy. And then Kevin Hayes said something that was very important. He said these twins are known bullies. So you have to go back to the past. In these mostly Caucasian towns where it's a lot of Caucasian people and less black people, what do they known for? What are they known for throughout history doing to our people? Let's start with the KKK. They love taking advantage of our people when we buy ourselves. If it's a group of us, they don't attack. They have to catch you by themselves because, you know, they are cowards. And see me, I can give you examples. I don't just talk. Number one, we have Robert Brooks, upstate New York. 18 correctional officers handcuffed him and unalived him. Number two, we have Ronald Green from Louisiana. 5 Louisiana troopers handcuffed him and unalived him. Number three, we have Messiah Nantwi. 15 New York, upstate New York correctional officers handcuffed him and unalived him. You even have the twins that was unalived, that was murdered in those Georgia mountains. And a volunteer firefighter took pictures. They arrested him for a few hours and released him. No questions about did he do it or not. No outrage. Where is the same outrage for those twins in Georgia, in those mountains, in that sundown town? Make it make sense.
Woo, boy, he was barbecuing. See, there are some bruhs, there are some Black Americans that ain't playing. And they're sitting there putting the reality knowledge out, right? In various parts of main media, they cannot stand when it's a perv thinking analytical Black American male who does not fit the stereotype the way that they like. Oh, they don't like that. See, don't give a damn about some personnel come from certain parts of Africa that coming over here. They be like, I don't care about them. They do not. They're like, we control them anyway. Those are numbers of coons and some sellouts too. With very few exceptions, they don't care about them coming over. They don't care about certain numbers of ones come from the beautiful Caribbean islands. It's like, we don't give a damn about that. How many of them have still a colonized mentality? And you coming from some place that have 99%, 98%, 99%, 95% that look like the other person, look like them, and still have a colonized mentality. But American Blacks who have their own unique culture and help build America more than anybody else besides personnel within certain parts of Panama's culture. Because how many others were latecomers and stayed in their damn lane and knew their damn places and tolerate nonsense? But American Blacks saying, no, I don't think so. Fighting against certain ones, racial racism, terrorism by certain ones in Panama's culture. Racial racism, hatred, laws and policies, Jim Crow laws. You can't go swimming in that particular pool. You can't go to that damn beach. You can't own certain damn land. You can't vote here and stuff like that. Oh, you want to intermarry? I don't damn think so. Miscegenation damn laws that was still going on in 1960s. Mildred versus Loving, right? American Blacks, World War I. American Revolutionary War, right? Nobody's come close to American Blacks in the American Revolutionary War. Served with bravery, besides certain ones, by its culture. 1800s, Civil War. Spanish-American War. I'm just giving an example. You go into the 1900s, World War I, World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War. More American blacks have fought in each of those wars than anybody else. No one comes close to American blacks. But the same, and get no reparations for having the most lynchings put upon the American blacks, the most hatred put upon American blacks. And you got people that got the damn nerve to sit there and try to act like American blacks are the most criminals. God damn. Boy, what a game. Oh my goodness. Well, what are you trying to say? That, I mean, there are certain numbers of black folks that got some, that be doing some wrong things. I mean, what are you talking about? Go to Haiti's the one who do that. See, they think, again, collectively, American blacks are stupid. They really do think this as well. Just like we had 2024 elections. You had ones that really do thought that collective American blacks were stupid. And they're supposed to take the nonsense and disrespect and disregard and people being ungrateful, taking advantage of black votes. And they automatically thought they was going to vote for Kamala. And even though the person said, what do you think I'm going to do? I ain't going to do anything for black people only. And somebody else that they were working with, should we say, was talking about, if you don't vote for them, you ain't black. But American blacks supposed to be voting for this kind of stuff. Numbers of other people talking, political, talking about, well, ain't got anything to do with slavery. But at the same damn time, they sit there falling over damn benches trying to sit there and fight for immigrant rights. People made sure to get an anti-Asian hate damn bill that didn't take bam at all to get. But HR 40 has been rehashed and rehashed. HR 40, for people to know, that was decades ago when a black American congressional personnel brought it to the forefront to try to sit there and get reparations for American blacks. And it was being game planned all over the damn place. And it wasn't about reparations. It was about trying to get a committee to study reparations. And then it's rehashed again, and then rehashed again. And then it's supposed to happen in California. Oh, that was kind of approved a little bit. And then you read about it. And then it was like that little part that they talking about was approved for per se, which really wasn't approved per se, was really not about giving black Californians reparations. And then on a damn committee, the task force, the California task force, then whatever this Asian personnel and some other people have called on the damn California task force, supposed to be about reparations. God damn. But you got people, you think some Caribbean other people are going to sit there and have some American blacks on the Caribbean task force for reparations? You think there were a number of American blacks on some Asian task force to get some kind of reparations as they have gotten? Do you see how this game? Do you think certain ones within Africa over here that will say, hey man, well, we should get some reparations, or some people older for people across back in our homeland, but you're not in your homeland. But the whole one point, but you came over here to America, right? Right? Because the personnel couldn't sit there and make things happen now in person's own country. Again, it's nothing wrong with coming over to America for certain type of opportunities, but it's one when ones try to get a little too ahead of them damn selves, to have pull up some big bridges a little bit more than toward American blacks, when American blacks have built this freaking country more than damn sure numbers of them. And I'm not talking about the ones that are good from Africa. Credit given to those, but those are very small that are allowed to come to America. So this one last particular video, I think it is. Give me one moment here. One last one. One last one. Hold on. Did I play this one? Well, no, I think I played this one. I think I played that already. Maybe that might be it. I thought I had one more. Let me double check, Carol. Thought I had one more. Twin brothers. Nope. Here. Hold on. I think this is it. Okay. I think this is Yeah, this is it right here. What did I play? I'm not quite sure if I even played this. Let me just play for a few minutes then.
Both of these kids are 17 years of age, student athletes. Carmelo Anthony was arrested. He was charged with murder. They took him to the Collin County Jail on April 3rd, set his bond at $1 million. They said that when Carmelo was arrested, okay, he said to the arresting officer, "I was protecting myself." He put his hands on me. Carmelo also asked if the guy he stabbed is going to be okay. He didn't know that Austin Metcalf was going to pass away. Carmelo also admitted that.
Okay, I'm not quite sure if I put it out on mute, but I think I played this already before. If I have, that's okay. I just play it for a few minutes and I'll close out the show.
He did this because he was attacked. He said it was self-defense. Now, here's the thing. There are a bunch of white supremacists and other people saying that this was just an argument, okay? On social media, on various outlets. Yes, it was just an argument until Austin Metcalf turned this into a physical assault. His twin brother said it right there, okay? There are many white supremacists in America right now who are giving biased information about this situation and trying to turn this into a political thing. Of course, a lot of these MAGA people, okay? You know, these political Americans, they turn everything that they can into a situation that'll benefit their political party. The Republicans do this, the Democrats do this. We see these white supremacists do this whenever they can bring something up, when something happens to a white person. And then we see these liberal Democrat white supremacists, they take events that we go through as Black people that are tragedy and traumatizing, and they use that to prop themselves up, you know, and say, well, look, this is because you conservatives did this. They're always using our, you know, our trauma and our tragedies for their own political benefit. They don't care about us. But these white supremacists, they go all out, you know, when they hear about these situations where a Black person did something to a white person, because simply America is grounded and based on racism. And in America, white people typically overall do not like Black people. And in response, vice versa, okay? White people were made white by America. They were made white, and they are racist. Overall energy. This is what I'm saying, okay? This is what I'm saying, overall energy. That it is what it is, okay? And these people, they use these type of situations for their own political benefit. The MAGA people are going wild right now, okay? They're on the media going in, okay? And the narrative that they're pushing is, at first, they were pushing, well, this Black guy just came and stabbed this good white boy who's a 4.0 student in the chest. You know, that's what he did to him. He's a monster. Lies. And all those lies are not going to matter, okay? Yes, Austin Metcalf is a good student athlete. So is Carmelo. He's a student athlete as well with good grades, college bound, from a good family, okay? They are posting pictures of Carmelo Anthony with a fake airsoft gun, okay? They keep throwing this picture up to say, oh, well, he's a thug. Look, he's there with a gun. The gun is fake. It's an airsoft gun that he's playing with. But there are also pictures of Austin and his brother with real guns, okay? Then they go on and post pictures of Carmelo Anthony standing, sticking up his middle finger. Okay, here's Austin sticking up his middle finger. Then they're saying that Carmelo wasn't supposed to be there. Whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever. Carmelo's a thug. Whatever. Carmelo did this and that. All that does not matter. He had a knife. Okay. Whatever. They're saying he took it there to do this. Why does he have a knife? He has a knife because boom, boom, this and that or whatever. They're making up these stories. That means absolutely nothing. These kids carry knives all the time. I'm sure those white kids are out there carrying hunting knives and all kind of other things. Many of us, when we were 17 years of age, going somewhere, carried some kind of knife or a weapon, okay? It may be beef, I don't know. He's going to this other team's field. This is Texas. There's white supremacists out there. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know, maybe he felt that he needed this knife. Unfortunately, America is a very violent place. Why he had a knife? Come on, whatever, man. Whatever. Actually, the white kid, Austin's father, he got tired of these MAGA people himself, you know, turning this into something that it isn't. Here's his father.
Hey everyone, wanted to tell you about one of the best deals we have going on the internet right now. It's the buy one, get one free deal on our...
I want to clarify something right off the start because I've already heard some rumors and gossip. This was not a race thing, and this is not a political thing. Please do not comment if you do not know what happened. Do not turn this into a racial thing. It was not. Do not politicize this. It's not. This is a human being thing.
Right. Sure it is. Right. But even though he's saying, hey, it's not a racial thing, it's not a political thing, well, at the same time, people know that when certain people jumped on the young black kid, 4.0, many colleges wanted to sit there and recruit him. No criminality in the past, right? Found out that those two sons were bullies, that you heard some people were saying they were bullies. And however, one of them was using the N-word and smashing the young black high school's phone. And there was also, like I said, some racism going on from either one or both of them. That was the last to have happened toward a young black kid. Right? But again, this is why the system of supremacy is the most awesome mental manipulation force that has ever existed within America. Just like you see on this image in the front before I close out the show, is the same image was on the thumbnail. They like playing little white lies, especially against black folks, black American folks specifically. And they can deflect toward them and use others to assist with this because they are the chaos masters. Again, lastly, what did I show you at the beginning of the show? Those two examples before I even got to the main topic. The first was that black woman, the American black woman, who had her young high school or junior high student in one of those LA schools that was pretty much predominantly white Hispanic. And numbers of them was jumping on this kid, black kid, for no reason. They didn't say the black kid was sitting there doing all kinds of stuff with them and threatening them and all stuff. Nope. They just saw hatred toward the American black kid, which is a whole different topic. But they want numbers of American blacks to sit there and fight for immigrant rights. How in the HEL does that sound? And they want numbers of American blacks to sit there and fight for border break or illegal immigrants and fight for Ukrainian rights. And all that billions and billions and billions of resources going to Ukraine. You got numbers of Ukrainian personnel leaving Ukraine. So where's all that resources going to? They believe American blacks should be fighting for the Palestinians and this Palestinian with the Israel situation that's been going on for decades. And even though Palestine was not Palestine, not a long time in history, because it was part of what they would call Canaan, who was black. And again, I like to always say, what about the Afro-Palestinians? You don't hear too much about them, do you? But American blacks are supposed to fight for their wars, Israel and the Palestinian Israel war. That's been going, conflict's been going forever. You know, symbolically. I mean, not symbolically. It's been going for decades. But you don't hear nobody jumping up and down for American blacks saying, hey, man, reparations for those American blacks. You need to get a hate crime law for American blacks. Where's all these people that want American blacks to fight for them? Where's all numbers of personnel from certain sections of Africa Where are those people not jumping up and down to sit there and fight with American blacks? Where are those numbers of personnel from the numbers of beautiful Caribbean islands jumping up and down fighting for American blacks as well? Nope. Because there are certain numbers of Caribbean personnel that can't stand numbers of Africans. You got numbers of certain parts of Africa that don't like numbers of Caribbeans. Oh, it don't take much to look it up. Talk the one this applies to. But again, American blacks are supposed to fight so many people's battles and be the damn the stepping store for people to be able to benefit off of. Acting as if American blacks just arrived in America a few decades ago. But American blacks collectively are the most openest people. This is why you can have people from various foreignist groups can put their little businesses in predominantly black neighborhoods because they also have gotten resources from certain entities to open up these damn businesses. But at the same time, they can't seem to find reparations resources. It is on purpose. They can find money to help border break illegal immigrants out, can sit there and help numbers of immigrants get situated with rent, mortgage, some places cars, working type situations. And how many of them don't damn work, but they get a little whatever resource per month. And then how many of those women, bam, automatically get pop those kids out, automatic citizenship, bam. This game is strong. And they know, unfortunately, majority of American blacks do not know the game, with very few exceptions. This system cannot stand strong American black men. They cannot. They like weak-minded men. They don't like black men, American black men that can think and see through the nonsense on this.
Last year we sat in, what did we get? We crawled in, what did we get? We even marched in, and what did we get? So 1964 threatens to be a very explosive year.
A firebomb was tossed into the home of Malcolm X here in New York City early this morning.
I wanted you to know that my house was bombed.
Are you inferring then that because of this conspiracy, the attempt was made upon your life?
The attempt was made upon my life because I speak my mind and I know too much, and they know that I will speak it whether they like it or not.
Colored waiting room. Not because they came from certain parts of Africa, not because somebody's people of color minority, but because they're American black. But you got people want to play these little games with this little topic example of, oh my goodness, the black kid 4.0, many colleges wanted to recruit him. No criminality whatsoever. Now that don't there are some people, as even adults should rephrase that. They have done some wrong damn stuff, they didn't get caught. But his friends and relatives, they didn't hear nothing about no bad stuff about him. Right? But at the same time, they expect American blacks, again, to be the footstool for other people.
I don't believe in segregation. I believe in slavery. I don't believe in segregation. I believe in slavery.
On the left, ladies, men in the middle, and colored on the right. This wasn't happening a long time ago. And they weren't talking about colored for people of color minority. That was about, on the right side, American blacks. Because American blacks have been the largest black population in America for centuries. That's beyond logical common damn sense. Play this again. waiting room for colored only by police department. Well, you think they was doing it because they come from the ancient continent of Africa or some of the beautiful islands of the Caribbean? I don't think so. They did it because of American blacks. But at the same damn time, in this situation, this example, certain ones within the Panamese culture, and some others who want to be like certain ones in Panamese culture, and even ones that have some skin to black, the ones who know they are, that play, they're not black when they don't want to be black. They play black when they want to be black, generically. Otherwise than that, they stick to the tribalism. Yes. You got ones that immigrant running to America doing immigratingness. You got ones that are border break illegal immigrants. So many people benefit off American blacks. And again, you have certain ones within the Panamese culture, which is going to be overall, with very few exceptions, that have a natural hatred toward American blacks. That want to sit there and act like racial racism of American blacks is still not really going on. And when they are shown the nonsensical bullcrap of minimization, then certain ones within the Panamese culture want to play victims and are try to be like, oh, get over it. I ain't got anything to do with slavery. I ain't got to do with racial racism or racism. But at the same time, they don't tell that to what we call Native Indians. They say, hey, where y'all keep getting these reparations for? We ain't got anything to do with that. We ain't got anything to do with the Ukrainian-Russian war. We ain't got anything to do with the Palestinian-Russian war. You see all that? It's like, where's all that at? See how that goes? And American blacks collectively are the most openness, right? While other people can sit there and continue to get benefits left and right. And they're sitting there laughing at American blacks because it is an agenda. And American blacks are told to get on the pass. You know, over and over and over again, you keep seeing things showing racism, anti-American black hatred. The gains are very strong. I thank you for tuning in to the Real CP show.